Hello, I'm Chanel and welcome to another reading vlog. This week I decided to just shake it up a bit, do something different. I've seen a lot of people using a random number generator to determine how many hours they're going to read that day. And since I'm spending a lot of time at my child's swimming lessons, luckily I have been able to sit and read. So I thought, let's give it a go. And I am going to the library today to do a bit of a library haul. So I've got some books coming in. So I thought, let's do that. Let's generate a random number of how many hours I'm going to read today. So I'm going to go grab my iPad, we will tape it and see how many hours I'm going to get. I think I am going to cap it at 6. I just really can't be reading for more than 6 hours a day and work and take care of my kids. So I will cap it at 6. I'm hoping not to get 6. I'm going to do a lot of half hours in between, so 5.5 or 30 minutes instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll see what we get. Pray for me that it's not 6, but also that it's more than half an hour. Otherwise I'm going to be very bored sitting at the swimming today. But let's see what I get. Okay, so I did the number generator and I got 2.5 hours, but I wasn't taping. But as you can see, it went to 2.5. So I will show you the spinny version of it tomorrow, but I don't want to spin again because, you know, I'm actually quite happy with the 2.5 hours. I think that's perfect, but tomorrow I'll spin it and we can get my instant reaction. It was a happy one. I was very happy about it. So I'll be reading for 2.5 hours today and I'll let you know once I have done that and what I have read. Hello, so this is just a very quick update. I have been reading for 1.5 hours. So I started reading the Unbroken and it's pretty much politics, slaves, enemies, queens, war, the general shebang. I found it really boring. I did 67 pages until I finally just DNF'd it. I think there was going to be a sapphic romance, but I was just not invested. So got rid of that one. And then I started Fragile Threads of Power, v. Schwab's latest one. And it was a similar thing. So this one had multiple POVs. There was a magic system in this one. There were some kings, there was some gay romance happening, but same situation around 55 pages in. So this little one won't stop giving me attention. I just got home and I was bored off my tits. So both of these books I just found really dull. I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about the story that seemed to be trying to unfold. And I guess after spending 560 pages on Talon's sister, I think I'm a bit fatigued of anything that would take a long time to get into. I don't have the stamina right now for slow-paced, slow-burn books. So I was like, I need to find something that's going to get my attention immediately and that is easy to read, isn't too heavy on the world building immediately out the gate. So I've picked up this book, Is It the Dead Don't Lie? I can't remember the name. And I'm only, I think, 2 chapters in. But so far you've got a young woman who's going to be a nanny to a mysterious lady and her 2 eerie daughters in a big mansion by the ocean. And there's lots of dead birds just killing themselves all around her. So far it is intriguing. It has my attention. It's easy to read. It isn't heavy on the world building so far. It's got a like eerie mystery quality to it. I did see some people say that it felt YA, but we'll see how it goes. So that will be probably the book that I hopefully actually get into and finish the rest of my 1 hour today. Hello, so yesterday I completed my 2.5 hours of reading. I got almost all the way through All the Dead Lie Down and I think I've got like 40 pages to go and it was so hard to stop and leave it. It's like, oh, I just want to finish, but I'm sticking to the hours that I'm allotted each day. So I am looking forward to finishing it off. Magic has come into play, but at the moment I am enjoying it. There is definitely sapphic romance in this and creepy kids and all of that jazz, finding human teeth, all the creepy eerie things. So we'll see how I feel once I've actually read the ending, but so far so good. So let's see how long I am going to read for today. So let's spin the wheel, spin, spin, spin. what did I get? 5 hours. Holy shit. That is so long. Oh my God. Okay, well, I know I'm going to be spending every second of my free time today. It's my fault. I put 5 hours on there. I should be prepared to do 5 hours. So we're doing 5 hours today. Pray for me. It's going to be some late night reading in bed, I think, and I'm going to maybe have to find an audiobook too, so at least I can cook and clean and do those things. But I will be continuing on with All the Dead Lie Down, and then I will do some other ebook while I am at my kids' swimming class. I am back. So I managed to get 2.5 hours of reading in today, which was amazing so far. I did finish All the Dead Lie Down. I am going to give it a 3.75. It's a cute sapphic romance with zombies and secrets and teeth and dead birds, but I really enjoyed it. It's nothing amazing, but you know, it's sort of just a classic gothic tale with a crumbling mansion that is hiding deadly secrets and an ocean that is slowly permeating the very bones of the house, along with a sort of tortured love. But I enjoyed it, so it's a 3.75. I also started and finished this book. I've forgotten its title already because I read it in one sitting, but I finished this book. So this one, look, it's very basic. You've got a witch who, it turns out, she's got powers that are against the witch's sort of code, and her mother tells her, you need to go to the demon woods, baby. That's the only way you're going to live. So off she heads, 25 years old. She reads a lot younger. She has been cloistered by her coven, and she's a virgin. She's never kissed anybody, that kind of vibe. She goes to the woods and meets a strange enigmatic man and his pet wolf and bat hawk owl creature. A strix is what it's called. And she says, you must take me to the Demon King. And they form a bargain and off they go together. He calls her Red, so it's got a bit of Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf vibe. He calls her Red way too much though. I do have a pet peeve with nicknames if they're used too much. It's like every now and again, not every sentence. But there is a love story. It's not enemies to lovers at all. It's dislike to lovers. People aren't who they seem. All of the dogma that she's been told by the witches and her grandmother, who is the crone, may not be true. It's fine. It's not a slow burn romance. So there is spice in this. It's fine. It's not amazing for me. For spice to be amazing, I have to feel it. I have to really be in there, and the descriptions have to be perfect, and there has to be that slow burn build up of these people just fighting their attraction to each other and then unleashing. So it was still spicy. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, it's fine. But it just felt rushed. I know I complain about slow paced books, but this one just felt like it was just trying to skip ahead. You know, it's like, let's cut out all the filler, which great. Their dynamic from the beginning was like, this is like a dynamic that would occur way later on, not immediately. It's so written, you know, it's very written. It's not very organic, but I did enjoy it. It was entertaining. Do I care about continuing on with the series? No. So I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I had a good time. It was fine. I might have been smiling at some bits. I love me some companion animals. I'm a sucker for that. And witches and demons, that kind of thing is my jam. So it's fine, you know, it's a 3.5 star read. I have also returned from the library. So let me show you my mini library haul. My hair is crazy today. I think being in the chlorine area is just frizzing it up. Look how frizzy it is. I feel like a wild woman. I'm in bad need of a fringe trim, but my ex-boyfriend used to trim it for me and he's too busy with his business now. So I'm going to have to find someone to do it because it's getting a bit much. So we've got here, 2 wrongs make a right. This is a contemporary romance. I'm trying to see if there are other contemporary romance authors I like besides Emily Henry and my favorite Abby Jimenez. So they're my top 2, Abby Jimenez more so. But, you know, I have to try different authors and see if they can reel me in. I've got this one, which I have no idea what it's about. It's called Knowing What We Know, the transmission of knowledge from ancient wisdom to modern magic. So sometimes I just go in and I'm like, seems interesting. We'll see. And then I've got Demon in the Wood. So this is the graphic novel version. So I wanted to give it a read. I think it's easy to read. In terms of audiobook, I just started one because I think that's the only way I'm going to get another 2.5 hours in today while I cook and stuff. And it's this nonfiction. So I'm literally 5 minutes in and I have no opinions on it at the moment, but they did open up with a quote from this TV show that I love, and I've forgotten the name, but I'll put a picture of the TV show. So a quote from this show, and I'm like, all right, like I see you. So I'll touch base with you tomorrow once I finish my 5 hours of reading today. Pray for me that I get something short tomorrow. Okay, so I listened to 1.5 hours of You Will Find Your People. Now, I wasn't listening to this for me. One way that I have been really fortunate in life is that I made 2 best friends when I was 11 in school, and they are still my best friends to this day. My ex-husband always used to make fun of me for not having any more friends than that, but for me, it was quality over quantity, and I'm just not someone that easily makes friends. But when I find my people, I'm sweet, and I found my people really early on, and I'm very thankful for that because I can imagine what it's like to go through life trying to find your people and not finding them. It is not easy. I think it's almost harder than finding a lover, to be honest, because you want the friendship to last your whole life, whereas we sort of understand that a romantic partner may not last our whole lives, but we hope that friends do. So I read it to see if I could help my kid, because my kid has been asking, well, how did you meet your friends and how did you know? And I don't remember back when I was 11 even how it went from meeting them at school and then deciding they were my best friends. It just happened organically, and I thought it must be harder when you're older, and maybe this book can teach me something. But this book was less nonfiction, self-help, and more memoir. So this is very much based on the author's experiences of meeting friends, and there's not really like, it just feels too colloquial and too personalized to their story. Like they do say some interesting bits and some things that I do agree with, but it's not going to help my kid in figuring out how to choose her crew, you know? So I'm DNFing it because I'm just not getting anything from it. So I still have 1 hour left to read. So I will pick something and touch base with you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. So last night, to finish off my time, I listened to Dark as Last Night, which was a collection of short stories by Australian authors. They were okay. It didn't really do anything for me, to be honest with you. I didn't finish it because I ran out of time, and I don't think I'm going to finish it. It just wasn't very riveting, to be honest. And yeah, didn't really enjoy it that much, so definitely not going to push on with it. So let's see how long I am going to be reading for today. 1.5 hours, to be honest. That's probably perfect. That's about the time I'm at swimming for. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll touch base with you once I've done my 1.5 hours today. Good morning, guys. Please excuse how I look today. I am actually feeling really under the weather. It sort of feels like a head cold or severe allergies, which I don't normally get hay fever, but I'm gonna take some hay fever stuff and hopefully that works and it's not a head cold. I just don't have time for a head cold right now. But yeah, I feel awful, and I'm actually not going to be helping out with swimming today, which I also feel awful about. You know, what can I do? I can't be around children if I'm getting sick. So I have almost finished the book from yesterday. This one, I keep forgetting its name. Sorry, the laundry's going. It's okay. It's just feeling like a very, that's my kid using the bathroom. It's feeling like a very standard fantasy book. But, you know, it's still enjoyable. It's an enjoyable fantasy book. Of course, my cat's using the cat tree that I'm balancing on. So I am looking forward to finishing it off today and seeing how it ends. But let's have a look at for how many hours that I am going to be reading for today. Three hours. That's fine. I'm at home, so I will plan to finish that off and also read Sorry, I'm Demon in the Wood, but I'll touch base with you when I finish my 3 hours today.
Bubbles got going nuts. Bad Bubbles.
She's kind of cute though.
But she is trying to hit Sylvie.
Even though she's going nuts.
Little bubble head. Look at bubble head.
I know.
Bubble head. I remember one cat did that.
Good morning, guys. I'm feeling a little bit better today, so that's good. The worst is over. I got a lot of reading done with my 3 hours yesterday. So I read Heart of Nightfire. I think that's what it's called. I never remember the name of this book. It's a pretty standard type of fantasy. You've got a girl who has, special abilities and was completely unaware that she had them, and there are love triangles with a certain trope that I don't enjoy. I won't spoil what that trope is because it's a bit of a reveal. And yeah, it's okay. It's 3.5 stars. It is entertaining. I didn't particularly connect to any of the characters, and I won't be continuing the series. So it's just one of those things where it's just a very entertaining but overall kind of forgettable book. That was that one. And then I read Demon in the Woods. And if I was going to rate this, I'd probably give it a 4. The illustrations were stunning. It was very easy to read. I flew through it. And it was just nice to get a sneak peek into the Darklings' backstory. I was like, okay, I can see how all of these little things kind of added up to them becoming who they became. But I did enjoy it. So that was an entertaining little read. Okay, so the third book I read was Two Wrongs Make a Right. And I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4.75. So basically you have B, who is a neurodivergent, bisexual, erotic stationery artist with little bee tattoos on her body, who is overcoming the trauma of being with a narcissistic ex. And then she gets herself into a fake dating scenario with a hot, quiet nerd who has 2 senior cat rescues and likes chess. Sign me the fuck up. Like, as soon as I read that, I'm like, okay, can relate and looking forward to reading this. The premise of the fake dating scenario was realistic. The thing that I didn't like about this book is in the beginning, these two have a, what you would call instant dislike. They just rile each other up. And to be honest, their bickering was a little over the top. It was over the top. I was like, I get it. You have social anxiety. Someone's come off as rude, but I don't think you would go for the jugular immediately like that. And both of them doing it, it just felt so forced. So I did find that very cringy, but thankfully they get over that shit pretty soon and actually get along and form a friendship, and they're super cute and it's a very slow burn. I absolutely loved that in this book they showcase B, when they're about to have sex, say, hey, I've got my STI results on my phone if you want to have a look at them. And I'm like, can we normalize this? Yes, thank you. So I love that. They're very high in consent. There was some edging involved in their sex scenes. So the sex scenes were good. I enjoyed their relationship. The conflict was a bit silly. Could have been resolved if they just sat down and communicated and talked about it, and B, actually consulted the other person whom her decision involved to see how they felt about it before just making the decision. But overall, it's very easy to read and it made me happy and horny. So you can't ask for better with a rom-com, really, can you, with a romantic book? So I really liked it. I really liked it. So this is definitely an author I'm going to check out their backlist now, because I might have found a new contemporary romance author that I enjoy, because I really enjoyed this one. It was fun. And I thought the couple was cute. That is everything that I have read this week. And I think I read for a total of 12 hours over 4 days. I'm not continuing on. I'm just too busy to continue to do the wheel, and I'm not feeling great. And I hate filming myself when I'm unwell, because I have to look back at these videos and I'm like, oh. Until next week, stay wild, Star Child.